Today is day 8 since the two little foxes unexpectedly wandered into my backyard. Over the past week, these tiny visitors have completely changed my daily routine. Every morning, one of the first things I do after waking up is prepare food for them. They have slowly become a part of my life, and every day I look forward to seeing their little faces waiting for breakfast. This morning started just like any other day. After getting out of bed, I prepared some fresh chicken puree and warm milk for the foxes. I carefully mixed the food together and carried it outside into the backyard. The weather was quiet and peaceful. The grass was still damp from the morning dew. Birds were singing in the distance. Everything seemed normal. But the moment I stepped into the backyard, I noticed something was wrong. Usually, both little foxes come running toward me as soon as they hear my footsteps. They are always together. If one appears, the other is never far behind. But today, only one fox came out. The second fox was nowhere to be seen. At first, I wasn't too concerned. Foxes are naturally curious animals. Sometimes they wander around the yard exploring different places. I assumed the missing fox might be hiding somewhere nearby. Maybe it was sleeping. Maybe it had found a new place to play. Maybe it was simply taking its time coming out. I called softly and waited. Nothing happened. The fox standing in front of me looked around as well. Its ears twitched as it listened to the sounds around us. It seemed unusually quiet. After waiting for several minutes, I decided to look around. I placed the food down for a moment and began searching. I checked behind the wood pile. I looked near the old fence. I searched around the bushes and tall grass. I carefully examined every corner of the backyard. Still no sign of the missing fox. My concerns started growing. For 8 days, these two little foxes have been inseparable. They sleep together. They eat together. They explore together. They play together. Whenever I see them, they are almost always side by side. Seeing only one fox standing alone felt very strange. I walked outside the backyard and looked around the nearby area. There are open spaces, patches of grass, and several places where a curious young fox could easily wander. I called again. I listened carefully. But there was no response. The missing fox simply wasn't there. As I continued searching, many different thoughts entered my mind. Maybe the fox had followed a scent trail during the night. Maybe it had wandered farther than usual. Maybe it had discovered a new hiding place. Perhaps it had even reunited with its mother. I honestly didn't know. Part of me felt worried. These little foxes are still very young. The world can be a dangerous place for small animals. There are larger predators, traffic, bad weather, and many other risks. Whenever an animal suddenly disappears, it is impossible not to worry. After searching for quite a while, I eventually returned to the backyard. The remaining fox was waiting near the food. It looked hungry. Even though I was still thinking about the missing fox, I knew I needed to take care of the one that was here. I sat down on the grass and placed the bowl of chicken puree in front of it. The little fox cautiously approached. For a moment, it looked at me. Then it lowered its head and began eating. Watching it eat reminded me how much progress we have made together over the past 8 days. When the foxes first arrived, they were extremely cautious. Every movement made them nervous. Every sound caused them to run away. They didn't trust me at all. That was completely understandable. I was a stranger. From their perspective, humans can be unpredictable. Trust takes time. Day by day, I worked patiently to earn that trust. I never forced them to come close. I never chased them. I simply provided food, water, and a safe environment. Slowly, they began accepting my presence. Now, this little fox can comfortably eat only a short distance away from me. That may not seem like a big achievement, but for a wild animal, it means a lot. The fox happily finished the chicken puree. Its appetite looked strong, which made me feel relieved. A healthy appetite is usually a good sign. After the chicken puree, I brought over a bowl of milk. The little fox immediately became interested. It carefully sniffed the bowl before beginning to drink. Its tiny tongue moved quickly as it lapped up the milk. The morning sunlight reflected in its eyes. For a few moments, everything felt peaceful. Yet I couldn't stop thinking about the missing fox. Every few minutes, I looked toward the gate. I looked toward the tall grass. I listened for movement. I hoped that at any moment, the second fox would suddenly appear. I imagined it running across the yard like nothing had happened. I imagined seeing both foxes together again. But that moment never came. The remaining fox eventually finished drinking and sat quietly nearby. Its stomach was full. Its posture looked relaxed. But occasionally it would glance around the yard. Maybe it was searching too. Maybe it noticed its companion was missing. Of course, I can't know exactly what animals are thinking. But after spending a week watching these two foxes interact, it is clear that they share a strong bond. They spend nearly every moment together. Today felt different. The backyard felt quieter. The empty space beside the remaining fox was impossible to ignore. As the morning continued, I spent some time simply sitting in the grass. The fox rested nearby. The gentle breeze moved through the yard. The sounds of birds filled the air. It was one of those moments that reminded me why animal rescue is so meaningful. When helping animals, there are always uncertainties. Not every day goes according to plan. Sometimes there are happy surprises. Sometimes there are unexpected challenges. Today was one of those challenging days. I wanted to see both foxes. Instead, I was left wondering where one of them had gone. Still, I refused to lose hope. Young foxes are naturally adventurous. They often explore areas far beyond what we might expect. The missing fox may simply be investigating its surroundings. It may be perfectly safe. It may return later today. It may return tomorrow. Until I know otherwise, I will continue believing that possibility. For the rest of the day, I plan to keep checking around the backyard and nearby areas. I will continue looking in all the places where the foxes usually spend time. And if the missing fox returns, I will be ready with food, water, and a safe place to rest. As for the fox that remained today, I will continue caring for it just as I have every day. It still needs food. It still needs attention. And most importantly, it still deserves kindness. Watching it enjoy its breakfast this morning reminded me that even small acts of compassion can make a difference. A bowl of chicken puree. A little milk. A safe backyard. Sometimes those simple things can mean everything to a small animal. Thank you all for following this journey and supporting these little foxes. Day 8 brought unexpected worry, but it also reminded me how much I care about these tiny visitors. Please keep the missing fox in your thoughts. Hopefully, wherever it is safe, healthy, and finding its way home. And hopefully, very soon, we will see the two little foxes together again. Thank you for watching. I'll continue updating everyone as this story unfolds.